Hello, I'm back for another restoration video. This guy is a Steiff Diva cat. I'll give more information, as we go, but here are the before photos of this guy's restoration. He actually wasn't super, what's the word, destroyed, but he was super gross, and felt like he had not been brushed in about, I don't even know how many years. So this guy was a Christmas present for me. He was about $30 on eBay. He had some gross stuff stuck in his fur. Here, I'm removing it. This is actually probably the youngest Steiff cat that I own so far. He was likely made around the late 70s. And as you probably remember, my other Steiff cats are much older. And actually probably in worse disrepair than this guy was when I got him. There's a lot of footage of me brushing him, just to show just genuinely how much brushing I had to do. This was my first time working with a long-haired Steiff cat. It was a little bit difficult, all things considered. I mean, there was matting and just generally it was kind of nasty. Also, before anyone gets on me for using a cat brush because it pulls out hair, I was being very careful to stop, as you can tell, when there were things going on, and I already assessed the fabric beneath, and he was actually in really good condition. He had a couple very small holes that I actually didn't end up fixing because they were just too minute to even think about. And the smaller fur, like the thinner fur on the legs and face and ears and stuff, I actually brushed out with the other side of the brush, which is more of just a plasticky brush. And it worked out much better that way. The initial stuff was done with the cat brush though, but I made sure there wasn't anything, like, it wasn't destroying the fabric. Here I turned on the light for the footage because I realized it was probably better if you could see what's going on, especially later in the video when I actually clean him, since you couldn't really tell the difference between the white fur and the yellowish fur, but here you can. Towards the bottom, it's real nasty. It's like yellowed all around on the bottom fabric. Luckily, most of that came out, but some of it was staining to the actual backing, which is a little sad. So if you recall, I actually name all of my Steiff cats after my favorite musicians from the era that they were produced in, but this guy's special because he's not going to be named after a musician. The reason I wanted this cat is because he reminded me a lot of my pet cat who recently passed away in March of 2022. He was 15 years old, his name was Mo, and he was just a really white, fluffy cat. So, in memorial for him, this was a purchase from one of my family members for Christmas, and I'm restoring him, and he will go up and sit next to my cat's ashes and other memorabilia from his life. So yeah, this cat's a little different, but that's one of the main reasons I got him, especially considering that most of my other purchases have been wild cats, and this guy is a pet cat. Now here's the part you've probably been waiting for, the cleaning portion. I usually just use woolite, carpet, and upholstery foam. I've found it pretty helpful. Here this is mostly just for the camera. I'm a lot more careful with actually applying this usually. But yeah, I kind of just mush it in a little bit and then immediately wipe it off before I can really do anything. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I prefer this to the method with water and soap because there's less water in the foam than there is in actual just straight up water. And I don't really feel comfortable spraying my Steiff animals with water. That's just me. I know a lot of people are a little bit hesitant because of the chemical content, which I totally understand. But for me, I don't really think that's much of an issue, especially because a lot of my Steiff animals are second, third, fourth hand and have been through a lot and just really need a forever home. So, it really comes down to what I'm going to be comfortable with, especially because they don't really have tags or anything. They're worth minuscule amounts of money and mostly are just here for my personal pleasure. I don't really plan on selling any of these guys ever because I just love them so much. So these are my methods. You can have your own, but there's no need to fight or anything because I've seen a lot of fighting about different cleaning methods online, so I was a little hesitant to show mine. But trust me, this takes off a lot of dirt and stuff, so works for me. One thing you may notice here that I actually didn't do anything about is the whisker situation because I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do about it still, even having finished this quote-unquote restoration. Basically, on the left side, he's got 2 full whiskers. On the right side, he's got 2 half whiskers. And on the ear parts, he's got 3 ear whiskers on the right side and 0 on the left. It's kind of a weird mixture of having whiskers and not having whiskers, because I've had a few Steiff animals where the whiskers have come off completely, and maybe one that still has all his whiskers. So it's kind of weird, and I'm not really sure if there's replacement whiskers out there or if there's anything I can do. They're also kind of weirdly shaped, like the ear whiskers kind of just like point down. Well, I guess eyebrow whiskers is the better term. It's actually interesting to note that they do have eyebrow whiskers, because I wasn't expecting it, like, at all. I guess that's one of those things where Steiff really comes and amazes you with the random attention to detail on some of the stuffed animals. Okay, now for the Steiff information. This is the Diva cat. I think I mentioned that earlier. It came in white and gray. Well, gray was more popular, I think. There tends to not be a lot of white ones online, but I'm not really sure if that's because of survival bias, or they just got super dirty and someone threw them away, or if they genuinely weren't really produced as much. But anyways, they were produced from 1968 to 1978, as far as I know. And this kitty is basically life-size. He's huge. And well, Diva is basically like a girl cat name or whatever. As previously stated, this guy is kind of in likeness of a previous pet of mine, so I just kind of refer to him as a guy. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's a man, but I think they were produced as little girl kitties. Not that it really matters, but, it's the lore. So yeah, also, in this clip, you can see I'm actually, like, brushing out the thinner fur, and I was very surprised by how much it brushed out. It was it made me very happy when I did it, because I was kind of worried that he would just be a little, crunchy forever in some spots.
Don't tell me to go home, staying so low until the sun sways out of the sky. Time seems to move so slow, just leave me alone, no. It's easier if we don't.
From this angle, you can probably tell a little bit that his head's kind of a little wobbly on the neck. I'm not exactly sure how to fix that, and I don't want to mess with it because I have never worked with a head swiveling animal before. But if anyone actually knows how to make that a little bit tighter or anchor it better, please let me know. I'm still debating on whether I want to restuff him or not, because, you know, they have the Excelsior in the inside, and I'm not really sure if I should keep that in there or not, only because, you know, he is newer than my other ones and in much better physical condition, fabric-wise. So I feel like it might be good for him, but also I'm not really sure if it's worth it. Especially on a swivel head animal, because I'm not sure if that would take away from the stability of the current wood stuffing, since it's pretty flattened and solid. Hi, I want to say really quickly before this video is over that a lot of the process of cleaning and brushing and making it look nice and doing a little painting on the face was not captured on video. It just took too long. The current video clip you are watching is actually sped up 25-minute video. Yeah, that's a long time to videotape for, especially if that's not the whole process. It took about, I want to say 4 or 5 hours, total to work on him to completion. And even here in this, flash video, you can see how much whiter his fabric is, just by the amount of cleaning that was done on camera. Now, here's the before photos, just so that you can remember how nasty he looked before I cleaned and brushed him. Oh, he looks like he was in some sort of, like, dumpster or garage or something. Here's mid-cleaning, and here's the finished pictures. He's so cute, he's got his little bow tie on. Wanted to give him a replacement bow tie since the other one was pretty nasty. And yeah, here he is, all finished. Thank you guys so much for watching.